Finding freedom through the fire of insight. Fire in the Bhagavad Gita. In the Bhagavad Gita, fire takes on a profound symbolic meaning. In one instance, it is referred to as Yanagi, the fire of knowledge, which burns away ignorance and reveals one's true nature. This metaphorical fire represents spiritual wisdom and understanding, highlighting the transformative power of knowledge in dispelling darkness and unveiling truth. Conversely, fire is also described as Kagney, the fire of desire, symbolizing the cravings and passions that drive human behavior. This dual nature of fire captures its potential to either enlighten or consume, depending on how it is harnessed and understood. Desires and their insatiable nature. In chapter 3 of the Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna that knowledge of one's true nature is hidden by desire, described as analam. The term analam means not enough or never satisfied, perfectly capturing the insatiable nature of desires. Just as fire consumes endlessly, our cravings are never fully satisfied. Consider a desire as a thirst that no matter how much we drink, always returns after a while. This illustrates how fulfilling desires only provides temporary relief before new ones emerge, perpetuating a cycle of dissatisfaction. Our lives are heavily influenced by a series of desires and aspirations that shape our daily decisions and behaviors. It's crucial to distinguish between simple wants and compelling needs to navigate our lives more effectively. Imagine a person who is slightly hungry and would like a particular snack, but can easily choose something else if it's unavailable. In contrast, consider someone who feels they absolutely must have that specific snack to feel satisfied and content. Recognizing this difference helps us understand which desires truly compel us and how they can dictate our actions and emotions, thus leading us to a deeper understanding of our own motivations and the underlying force that drive our behavior. The 3 approaches. There are 3 ways to approach desire: indulgence, abstinence, and insight. Typically, we fluctuate between the first 2. We practice abstinence for a period, but eventually the lingering embers of cravings lead us to overindulgence. This back and forth cycle can be exhausting. Therefore, let's examine these 2 approaches and then discuss the 3rd way, insight. Overindulgence. Attempting to satisfy all desires by overindulgence only intensifies them. A luxury, like having dessert after every meal, can become a necessity if indulged too frequently. This turns an occasional pleasure into a routine compulsion, illustrating how feeding desires can make them more demanding. Overindulgence can blur the line between need and want, making luxuries feel essential and leading to a cycle of dependency. While abstinence might seem like a solution, it is often ineffective. Simply refraining from satisfying a desire does not eliminate it fully. For example, someone who decides to give up sugar may find themselves constantly thinking about sweet foods. Desires, like glowing embers, can continue to linger until reignited. While suppression can be initially effective, suppression without insight into the nature of cravings and what is craved can lead to obsession. Denied desire looms and lingers, larger than life in the mind, creating a sense of deprivation and frustration that eventually turns into action during a moment of distraction, tiredness, or emotional distress. Insight. According to non-dual teachings, the root cause of desire is ignorance of our true nature. If we realize our innate completeness, we would not be driven by compulsive desires. Desires arise when we feel incomplete, seeking fulfillment from external sources. Knowledge of our true self can remove this ignorance, revealing the fullness within and diminishing the power of desire. This self-knowledge is seen as the key to liberation, freeing us from the endless cycle of wanting and needing. In chapter 4 of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes Yanagi, the fire of knowledge, as capable of destroying actions driven by desire. This fire, kindled by non-dual teachings, burns away ignorance and reveals our true content nature. By understanding our inner fullness, we can break free from the compulsion of desires. The fire of knowledge illuminates the mind, allowing us to see beyond the superficial allure of desires and recognize the enduring contentment that lies within. Preparing the mind for spiritual insights. Just as a seed requires the right conditions to sprout, an unprepared mind struggles to ignite the fire of knowledge. Spiritual maturity and readiness are essential for a non-dual perspective to awaken. Continuous exposure to these teachings gradually prepares the mind, allowing the fire of knowledge to kindle understanding. Like a gardener tending to a plant, one must cultivate the right environment for spiritual insights to flourish. The most precious quality to possess for awakening is openness. It is this quality that allows the mind to release old, outdated views and adopt an understanding of reality that is based on direct, experiential, and testable observations. One of the greatest teachers is your own cravings. If you do not wish to seek support, then you must have the courage to apply the insight practices to dissolve cravings and problematic desires in your own experience. This takes dedication, but the great thing about cravings is they make you motivated. They never take a break. They are always just one trigger away from giving you another opportunity to see through them with insight and dissolve them in the light of knowledge. Conclusion. In conclusion, understanding the symbolic nature of the fire as Analam and the transformative power of Yanagi provides profound insight into managing our desires. By recognizing our true nature and the root cause of our cravings, we can begin to liberate ourselves from their powerful hold and find an enduring sense of contentment within. By embracing self-knowledge as the guiding light in our lives, we can transcend the cycle of endless and often unfulfilling desires and discover the enduring peace and true fulfillment that lies at the core of our very being.